Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Willow Springs International Raceway in Rosamond, California, as we are here for the third race of the season in the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series. This is the Grand Prix of California, 20 laps of action around this 2.5 mile road course. And very similar to the last road course we went to at Riverside, a very fast, wide, sweeping road course here in Southern California. But this ends our California swing here in the Haas IndyCar Series. We head to Texas next week, but one last race to cap it off here in the California state. And Micah, this is a very similar track to Riverside, but the strategy play may be a little bit different than what we saw 2 weeks ago in Napa, Indy, California. So when we get to that cycle of pit stops, which is more closer to the halfway point of this race instead of near to the end, what is the right call to make here to get the race victory here in the Grand Prix of California?
Well, this track can get incredibly hot being in the hot California sun. I think tires are definitely going to be a factor here today. Unlike last week, I think tires are definitely going to play a factor in the outcome of this race.
It's definitely going to be a track where you need fresh Firestones to have a good run here, and we're just going to have to see how that strategy plays out. Like I said, the fuel window, or maybe the tire window, right about halfway. It will be past halfway in this race, of course. It'll be a one-stop race, but unlike the last race at Riverside, it's not going to be right near the end of the race where these guys can actually play a little bit of strategy and see how it all works out. Of course, our last winner was Chris Reynolds. He starts in the 4th position here today. But last year in this race, Richard Kingart went flag to flag, wire to wire here at Willow Springs from the pole position to go on and get the Grand Prix of California race victory. So, going to be fascinating to see if Tanner Parton, who won the pole for Nathan Orman Motorsports, can do that here today, or if we will actually see some passes made on the racetrack or on the pit lane. In the point standings, Luna Lona, rookie driver who grabbed her first career win on the channel on Wednesday in the Wawa Sprint Series, has the points lead, 70 points towards the championship for her. John Andrews only 4 points behind. Of course, our last winner, Chris Reynolds, is up there, 13 points behind. Landon Smith Jr. is 14 points behind, and then the Auto Club winner of Justin Zaidel is 16 points behind coming into this race. Of course, only the third race of the season in a 16-race season, but after today, we only have 13 more points-paying races left to go, so not going to be much of an opportunity for these guys to get points as much as it was last year in the 20-race season. We'll get these guys to roll off here from the Willow Springs International Raceway, and Tanner Parton, like I mentioned, won the pole last night in the Fast 6 shootout. A very fast car there for Nathan Orman Motorsports, and we'll have to see how well the rookie driver can do. He's going for his first career win on the channel. Same goes for Aaron Abel. Starting alongside him in the number 97, we could see ourselves a first-time winner here today at Willow Springs. Logan Williams and the 75 of Chris Reynolds there in row number 2. Of course, Chris Reynolds looking to go 2 in a row here in the Haas IndyCar Series and maybe start to pull away in the championship. We'll have to see what he can do. John Andrews and Christian Master make up the top 6, and then you have the Auto Club winner of Justin Zaidel alongside Nicholas Sambadio in row number 4. And then Cole Raymond and Avery Alford make up row number 5. Make sure everybody's rolling off okay. And Micah, I remember we did the Milk League, or at least I was part of the Milk League in 2020, and I almost won here, but I overshot one of the corners, and you grabbed the race victory there in Project Cars 2. So with that being said, it has nothing to do with the question I'm about to ask. Who do you think's going to win here in the Grand Prix of California at Willow Springs?
You know what? I like Chris Reynolds. Definitely got some momentum going after last week. This is a very similar racetrack, and he's starting up front.
We're just going to have to see if he can pull it off 2 weeks in a row for my team there in Otter Island Motorsports. I'm really good at this series for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. It's not rigged. I'll say that. Hey, I think one of these two guys might get it, though. Aaron Abel, Tanner Parton were really fast in qualifying right there. Tanner Parton's had a solid start to the season. Same with Aaron Abel. They both had solid runs last week or 2 weeks ago, I should say, at Riverside, and they might be working off of that momentum as well. But we're just going to have to see how it all goes down. A 20-lap race here. There could be a little bit of attrition, so we'll have to see how that all goes down. Now, of course, we'll have a cycle of pit stops as well to shake everything up. Pace cars down the pit lane. Here we go. Coming across the line, we're green flag racing in the third race of the season in the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series. What a start here at Willow Springs. Logan Williams with a great jump there at the start, trying to get around Aaron Abel, but Abel able to come back at Williams, and he's still right there in the gearbox of Tanner Parton, and they're still side by side for the second position here on lap 1.
Yeah, you see a lot of these cars getting sideways, and some of these corners have different lines you can take through. There's not one definitive line, especially through the windy up and downhill S's. So you're going to see these guys trying different things as we got a battle for second place here. But, oh, I think they touched, actually.
Yeah, it was a tight one there. This is a very tight corner, and Logan Williams really powered it down on the inside. He's got the nose to the inside of Tanner Parton, and he's going to get a bonus point for leading the first lap of the race. I almost thought I saw someone go around in the back, but I don't think we did, and we still keep on going. Of course, we are on the road course, so no cautions if a wreck were to occur, but all 26 drivers still out there and on the racetrack here after the first lap. Logan Williams takes the lead away from Tanner Parton here on lap 2. It's a much closer start than I anticipated here in this one, but Parton trying to hold on there to the second position. Here comes Chris Reynolds for third on the 97 of Aaron Abel, and Abel falling back here. He's now under fire from Christian Master in the 55.
And I don't know how Williams made that thing stick. You see all these guys getting sideways out of these corners. It just shows how slick this racetrack is right now. But finally, a little bit of peace out front. The top three have kind of broken away a little bit.
Aaron Abel was once battling for the race lead. Now he's all the way down the 5th here on the second lap of the race, and now under fire from Nicholas Amadeo. He's got to run to the inside of him. There's some grip there on that inside lane to the final corner, and Samadeo's going to find it, and he may also get Master as well at the same time. But Logan Williams going to try to pull out here and steal this win away from Tanner Parton. Was able to get that first lap led. Chris Reynolds also looks very quick here in the 75. Of course, he was quick at Riverside, and here he is on the gearbox of Tanner Parton for second. Masters up to 4th. Great run for him, and Nicholas Amadeo inside the top 5 now as Aaron Abel falls back to 6th. Here comes Avery Alford on Justin Zidell right here. That's just outside the top 6 there for 7th and 8th. John Enders in 9th after making his way into the Fast 6. He did not get a good start in this one either, just like Aaron Abel there. And then Luna Lona rounds out the top 10 here on lap number 3. Go through the field here, make sure everyone is continuing the roll just fine. John Stewart there at the back of the field, and I know you don't like to see that with Jay Knapp in the 98. Bit of a tough qualifying run for him, but maybe he'll get some of the work on the cycle of pit stops. All these guys still right on each other here. So if you play a little strategy on the pit lane, you may be able to get something to go your way here in this race.
You know what? We're in California, in the hot sun, people partying, living it up. Maybe it's just not his week this week. As battle for second getting pretty close here. Let's see if
Chris Reynolds there in the 75, right on the gearbox of Tanner Parton, and then Master kind of holding up these guys there. Abel looking to take the position back away from Nicholas Amadeo there for the 5th place. The top 3 have kind of pulled away, and Logan Williams kind of on his own right there, the number 38 machine for American Motorsports and Trey Wright. And Logan Williams definitely looking to get one done here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Let's see if he's ever won before in the IndyCar Series. I think he has. I don't remember where he's gotten his race victory before, but he has gone the victory lane. I believe that probably came last season at some point, but I just can't remember which race it was. Maybe you remember, Micah. I know you called some of those races with me last year, but Logan Williams, a veteran of this series, no surprise to see him get a good jump there at the start and pull away here early on.
You know, Alex, I'm not sure that I remember as we see Raymond looking for second place again down the front straightaway. And he's going to peek it up the inside, see if he can make it stick here into turn 1.
Oh, he got sideways. He's going to make that one look easy. Oh, and around! I think that's Avery Alford and Luna Lona, and then the 52 of Eric Drew also went around, and a lot of drivers around. And we saw this in qualifying yesterday. Just get a slick spot there in the turn number 1, and so many guys going around right there. Both of the Dutch Atlantis Racing cars of Ace Garcia and Roy Ribbleton. Christian Vargas back in there as well. There's Noah Clifton in 94. Eric Drew, Fitzwater almost went around there. And I'm wondering if someone dropped a little bit of oil there in the turn number 1, and they just all went flying across into the dirt. A lot of these guys will get back out there, but 3 of them will be out of the race there. Avery Alford, Luna Lona, and the 27 of Ace Garcia. Wow. You'll see the replay of that in the corner of your screen.
Turn 1 just became a junkyard here in Willow Springs.
Well, hopefully these guys can get around that corner just fine right here.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But I think whatever it would have been would be cleaned up by now. That's the one thing, I don't have any cautions on the road courses here. But with this being a video game, of course it can clear itself up and not be too much of an issue, thankfully. Got a great battle here between Justin Seidel and Aaron Abel. Seidel looking to take 6th away, and Abel started 2nd all the way down the 7th. What do you think might be wrong with this 97 car? This was the car that won this race 1 year ago.
On a track that's super hard to pass, the starts are crucial, and Aaron Abel did not get a great start. So once you get mired back in traffic in the dirty air, it can just be really hard to make that ground back up. I think his car's fine. I think it's just he's stuck behind so many people, and this is just such a difficult place to make passes.
It absolutely is, but down to the 7th position. He's been losing quite a few here as this green flag run has gone along. John Inder's up to 8th now after that incident between Lona and Alford. Brad Stover now inside the top 10 for Team Minnesota, or DM Motorsports now, as they call it. And then you got the 95 of Cole Raymond there rounding out the top 10. Then you got that gap from where Alford and Lona were running down to Caleb Rose and Bradley Bradshaw just outside the top 10. Angel Olvera there. You got Landon Smith Jr. right behind those guys. Thomas Troxel, John Stewart, and Jay Knapp. All those guys avoided any contact or any spinning from that incident. Trey Smith and Zachary Fitzwater were not as fortunate. These were the two guys going after it in the Indianapolis 250 last year, and even in the championship as well. They were two of the strongest drivers last year. Not off to as good of a start this year for either driver. Saw Eric Drew go around, Noah Clifton as well, and Christian Vargas. And then Roy Ribbleton finally got back out there in the 33 machine, and we saw the 3 guys there who are out of the race. Watch out here. Chris Reynolds closing in here on the 38 there of Logan Williams. And you can kind of tell he's pulling away from Tanner Barton. He got that pass made on the 24, and he's got a huge gap on the 24 now. And this 75, I have a feeling, has the fastest lap of the race here at Willow Springs.
Yeah, I was going to say, Reynolds, definitely the fastest car on the track right now. Like I said, he picked up some momentum after winning last week, and he's hungry. Do want to touch on Luna Lona here. She was the points leader going into this race. So as we see Jay making a pass back there, but yeah, this is not going to be good for her. I'm willing to bet she loses the points lead after this week, unfortunately.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of guys. I mean, Chris Reynolds there, only 13 points behind. Luna coming into this race, currently running 2nd right now. It's Nicholas Samadillo looking to get on Christian Master. How about a couple of Indy 250 champions right here going after it inside the top 5? First, Christian Master has actually run more full-time seasons in the Haas IndyCar Series than anybody, including Nicholas Samadillo. This is Master's 7th full-time season here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Samadillo's 6th full-time season, but Samadillo has run in 9 Indianapolis 250s, or will have run in 9 Indianapolis 250s, assuming he qualifies this year. And Master has run in 6 coming into the season. He'll be attempting his 7th. But they're all kind of behind Tanner Barton. Barton not as fast as some of these other guys, as Logan Williams able to pull away there from Chris Reynolds. Hey, all that action there that we saw, we're going to have pit stops here in just a couple of laps, and that is really going to get interesting because it's not like Williams has that much of a lead here on Chris Reynolds or even on Barton and Master and Samadillo. I don't think any of these top 5 guys can possibly win this race if they choose the right strategy call here. We'll just have to see how it all goes down, but unlike Riverside, this cycle's right at halfway, so you're probably going to want to take tires during that cycle instead of going fuel only like Chris Reynolds did last time out at Riverside to get the race victory over there. So we'll just have to see how it all goes down. But a great job for Logan Williams. He's led every lap so far in this race, but will he lead all of them just like it was done last year with Richard Kinghart? We're just going to have to find out and see.
Yeah, and what you're going to see these guys want to do is you're going to have to set some quick laps. Especially your in and out
contact!
laps. Oh, my goodness.
Tanner Barton and Christian Master almost wrecked each other there off the exit of the final corner.
Barton is just slowing these guys down. It's like a pain train back here, third on back. These guys are just queuing up behind him, and they can't find a way past. But Barton just very slow and off the pace, it seems like. Just these guys, look how stacked up they are.
Yeah, Samadillo there on the gearbox of Master, and then Zaidel closing in as well. And we kind of saw that 24 just didn't quite have the pace as lapped traffic here. That's Ace Garcia in the 27 who was involved in the accident, currently 4 laps down. Alford officially out of the race in the 13. Luna Lona still on the pit lane. Eric Drew's down the pit lane. Of course, he was involved in that accident. Got spun off in turn number 1. Lap traffic may be a factor in this one. Is Chris Reynolds still within a second here of the 38 machine? We'll have to see if anyone comes down right here. Not quite. Oh, here we go. So Chris Reynolds is going to try something here. As a matter of fact, so will Tanner Parton. A lot of guys behind him.
So this could be the move, pitting for tires and then just running some fast laps in clean air to try and make up time on the leader. But so many people joining Reynolds here, he kind of started a trend, it looks like, but
yeah,
shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Everybody except the number 38 of Logan Williams came down the pit lane. Logan Williams may just be a sitting duck right now. So if Reynolds can beat these guys off, the strategy will work for Reynolds. And as long as he doesn't have an issue here on the pit lane, which a bit of a slower stop there for him, maybe. I don't know. It took him a while to get off the jack for John Andrews. But Reynolds able to get off ahead there. And Christian Master is going to jump Tanner Parton. Sam Badillo's going to try to do the same right here. And I think the 5 machine will get around the 24. Oh, they're side by side here off the pit lane. Sam Badillo's going to try on that outside lane. Parton's got the inside. Great battle here for what will provisionally be 4th.
This is going to be
5th.
It's going to be dicey on cold tires through these S's up here, but Parton hanging on so far.
And I think Parton's going to be able to hold off Sam Badillo, but Master able to get around the 24. We'll have to see what this 55 has for his engine. Here's Logan Williams. The only driver to stay out there an extra lap. This is going to be interesting. I am not feeling too confident that he is going to be able to beat off Chris Reynolds. Reynolds coming through here as they take the final right-hander. There's a very wide, sweeping right-hander right there. And Logan Williams, of course, going to be a 4-tire stop for him. So once Williams is done right here, everyone will have made their pit stops. And here we go.
Be close.
75 crossing the line right now. He's going to have a lot of momentum, but Williams with a good jump there. And that race lead may have helped him. A good gap there off the pit lane for Logan Williams.
And the only thing I can think that might have benefited him is he pitted alone. He didn't have anybody to hold him up on the pit lane, whereas Reynolds, entire field came in with
you're
him.
right. He had Tanner Parton ahead of him there, so that may have slowed him down just a little bit. Master is 3rd, Parton is 4th, and Sam Badillo is 5th. How about Brad Stover in the 49 up to the 6th position? Stover started 14th in this race, up 8 positions here, which is quite a feat on a road course here. Justin Zeidel is 7th, Aaron Abel down to 8th, Caleb Rose top 10 in 9th, and John Andrews rounds out the top 10 in the number 21 machine. So here we go. No more pit stops needed. Will Chris Reynolds close in on Logan Williams for the race win? Or will Williams be able to hold him off here? At 75, he's got those warm tires. He's able to close in quite a bit right here. The gap's going to be pretty close as Stover goes for it on Sam Badillo for 5th place.
And he's going to clear Sam Badillo down the front straightaway as we see
another side-by-side with Bradshaw and Andrews, and then John Stewart, who started, I think he started 25th in this race. He's got around Landon Smith Jr. right there. The 25 was across the line to 15th, so he's gone up 10 places here in this one. You know, last week you predicted Caleb Rose was going to win from the last position. I think the 25th position is where he started last week, and he moved up to 15th. Well, that's what John Stewart's doing right now. Is here we go. Chris Reynolds. Watch out. The last time Outer Island Motorsports had a full-time organization in the Haas IndyCar Series, Chase Harris won 5 races. Well, once again, they may have found their driver with Chris Reynolds. And that's 75. Yep. I think in a matter of a couple of laps here, we'll get around this 38 machine of Logan Williams. May pull the same move as Williams did to get the lead from Tanner Parton at the start of the race.
Yeah, he's getting a better run off the final corner. And that, I mean, he's just the fastest car on the racetrack right now. It's only a matter of time.
Fastest lap of the race is actually John Stewart now in the 25. Just mentioning him from the 25th starting position all the way up to 15th right there. So he's got a fast car. The second fastest is Chris Reynolds. Now, it's one thing to catch a guy, it's another thing to pass him, and that's especially true here at Willow Springs. Even though it's a fast, wide, sweeping racetrack, it's sometimes difficult to find that run on the guy ahead of you, and we'll just have to see if Williams can hold off the 75. 4.5 seconds behind is Christian Master. I don't think Master's going to have a shot at victory, only unless we see a Grosjean McLaughlin type incident between our two race leaders here. But then again, we're done with the pit stop, so maybe not. But that was something else last week in the Grand Prix of St. Pete. That was a great race, and we'll just have to see. I'm hoping that doesn't happen between Reynolds and Williams, but who knows? You know, sometimes we see these guys kind of slide off the exit of the final corner right there, and we almost saw it earlier on. And we also got lap traffic, so it ain't over till it's over. 6 laps to go here in the Grand Prix of California for Logan Williams, and Chris Reynolds is right there on his gearbox.
Yeah, that 75 is just so strong down the front.
Oh, here we go.
He's going to peek up the inside here.
Williams tried to get around Luna on the outside, and Luna moved up, and there goes Chris Reynolds to the race lead. He made that one look easy, and Williams still stuck behind this 0-0.
Oh, my goodness. That was perfectly executed by Reynolds. It's Luna still holding up second place.
And Logan Williams is not going to be happy with this 0-0 after this is all said and done. Not one bit. He still can't find a way around her. Finally going to try to peek here.
Oh, she's still not giving him a break, man.
And Williams just got to get to the inside. He's finally going to do it right there. Wow.
He lost so much ground.
So we'll see what the differential is as we come across the line here. Now 5 laps to go. And how about Chris Reynolds? Going to go 2 in a row here in the Haas IndyCar Series. And across the line, Williams, 2.5 seconds. My goodness.
That is an astounding amount of time to lose in 1 lap. But my prediction is looking pretty good so far. Chris Reynolds just has a rocket ship today, and he's just taking this field to school.
Absolutely. A really fast machine right there for Rider Island Motorsports. And Logan Williams, I mean, he'd be much closer if it weren't for the fact he got stuck behind Luna Lona as long as he did. Christian Master was able to get around that 0-0. And how about Brad Stover? Around Tanner Parton, that's for the 4th position. This 49 is really fast right now. Sam Adio might get one on Parton for 5th. Oh, but that 5 machine, he's also going to get stuck behind Luna Lona here. Didn't think we'd see lap traffic really be an issue in this race, but that is the case right now, as Parton will get around, and so will Sam Adio. Seidel, the next driver to get around Luna Lona. And I'm a little bit concerned here with Ace Garcia here in the 27. Garcia is 4 laps down, just like Lona is 4 laps down, was involved in that accident. I'm wondering if he might get in the way of Chris Reynolds before the end of this race, just to see how the differential is. But a 3-second lead right now for Chris Reynolds here at Willow Springs, looking to go back-to-back here in the Haas IndyCar Series. And this is feeling a lot like Chase Harris in 2020, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and we'll see how he negotiates lap traffic here. But he made Lona, I mean, passing her looked like a piece of cake. He planned that perfectly. I was not expecting him to just dive it up the inside, but it worked. And, I mean, he's just driven away. It's astounding.
And Logan Williams hasn't really been able to catch up either, so I think that pass was bound to happen, and they just happened to hit lap traffic when they did. You know, watch out for Brad Stover possibly getting a podium here for DM Motorsports. This 49 is really fast, and he's closing in now on Christian Masters, pulled away from Tanner Parton right there. And Brad Stover, you know, this is only his 3rd ever race in an IndyCar. You know, he's done a lot of racing over on the Cup side, so he's got a lot of experience over there, but in the open wheel machines, not quite as much for this 49, and just going to have to see what Brad Stover can do here as this race closes out. 3 laps to go here at Willow Springs. And I actually think Ace Garcia is going faster than Chris Reynolds right now, so I don't think that 27 is going to be a factor. And I don't think we're going to really run into anybody else who will be a factor in this race either. So only unless something drastic happens, which, hey, we saw in the Cup race at Phoenix, Matt Tuck blew up on the penultimate lap of the race. Anything is possible. We're just going to have to see if the 75 can, in fact, close it off here in the Grand Prix of California.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over, for sure.
Logan Williams here. Regardless of the fact, it'll be a good run for him. Came into this race 13th in the point standings.
If you take a look back around 4th place, Stover is even closer, and he's just reeling that 3rd place car right in.
And Christian Master going to try to hold off Brad Stover here for this 3rd position, but I think this 49 might get it. Logan Williams isn't falling off from the 75, but he's not going to be able to catch him by the end of this race with the way that's going. Still 3 seconds for Chris Reynolds on the 38 machine. Sam still trying on Tanner Barton. I know Sam wants that top 5 points leader over in the Wall Cup Series right now. Has been having a great season over there. Wants to get out of the hole that he dug himself into here in the Haas IndyCar Series. 16th in points coming into this race. Still a great run for him here, looking to move up in the championship standings. Of course, the 2018 champion here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and the 2-time Indianapolis 250 champion. I know he's eyeing his 3rd Indy 250 in just under 3 months. And hey, I know you're looking forward to that one, Mike, and of course the real-life one as well will be going to. But of course, these road courses may not necessarily be the right measure for how well these guys are going to do once we get to Indianapolis in May. Here we go, white flag in the air for Chris Reynolds in the Grand Prix of California. He's going to make this one look easy, I do believe. Logan Williams there. This is the battle right here for 3rd. Brad Stover and Christian Master going after it here at Willow Springs.
Yeah, Stover's all over the gearbox. They might even end up side by side here into these S's if he's brave enough, but we'll just have to see if Master is able to hold him off.
And this is a swing of 3 points here, which could very well mean the championship. Of course, you're Chris Reynolds. You got 53 points going your way, I think. No, 52.
Well, he
52
hasn't
points.
led the most
He led a
laps.
lap, so yeah, 52 points. No, 51. Because he didn't get the pole either. 53 is the maximum with the pole, most laps led, and a lap led. So it'll be 51 points for Chris Reynolds, but I think it's also going to be the points lead for Chris Reynolds after this one. And even though he didn't start on the pole, you picked it, Micah. You called it. Chris Reynolds going to go back-to-back here in the Haas IndyCar Series and sweep the 2 California road courses. Chris Reynolds wins the Grand Prix of California at Willow Springs. Logan Williams finishes 2nd, and Master will hold off Brad Stover for the podium position.
Still a valiant effort for the 49, starting deep in the field, making up all those spots. Very impressive run, but yeah, Reynolds definitely knows how to get it done in the desert.
Absolutely. Now, this is it for Southern California here in the Haas IndyCar Series, so I'm sure he'll miss this place because he's had a pretty good run here the past couple of weeks. And he's going to head into Circuit of the Americas with the points lead. Now, that's a completely different racetrack than what we saw here today, so we'll have to see that road course magic sticks with that 75 team or if it goes to somebody else, because there's a good chance somebody else might get it done. But already, only the 3rd race of the season, and we've already had, once again, a multi-time winner. And I think that happened last year with Zachary Fitzwater when he won at California and then went on to win Texas in the 3rd race of the season. So 2 years in a row. We're 3 races in and already we've had a multi-time winner. And the ratings are equal for everybody. I promise. I hate it when my own team wins sometimes, especially the way they win in this series, but I'm not rigging it, guys. I truly am not. I've been saying it since 2020. That's why I took my team out last year, because it was kind of like they just kept winning. And I bring them back, and they keep winning again.
No, you know
hey,
what?
Chris Reynolds is happy. He's got the race victory. But thoughts on that race there. Logan Williams, I just don't think he was the fastest car. But do you think he would have had a chance of winning if they didn't run into Luna Lona there around lap 14?
Oh, I definitely think he would have. I mean, they were pretty equal on pace, especially toward the end. It started to even out a bit, but I mean, he just was caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, really. 75 used Luna Lona as a pick almost, and just didn't work out for him, but still, very fast, very good run for Williams.
Yeah, so Logan Williams going to finish 2nd right there. It's going to be a good points day for him. Good points day for Christian Master as well. He definitely needed that after he was 23rd on the points coming into this race. And Brad Stover with a great run as well, starting from the 14th position. And Tanner Parton rounds out the top 5 from the pole. Nicholas Samadio with 6, Justin Seidel, Aaron Abel, Caleb Rose, and John Andrews, the top 10 here from Willow Springs. And, of course, we had that one accident there early on in the race, and mainly involved Luna Lona, Ace Garcia, and Avery Alfred, but a few other guys got sent around there, and that definitely shook some things up there in terms of the running order. Well, hey, next race is at Circuit of the Americas, and that is a very fascinating racetrack. Pit strategy came into play there last year. How do you think that race is going to go? I mean, that is one of the harder places to make a pass on the circuit. Do you think the pole sitter's going to have the race victory in the bag right away, or will we see some crazy antics there in the Firestone Indy Texas race next Tuesday night?
You know what? I don't know if you're safe on the pole there. There's just so many unknowns, and I have a feeling there could be some carnage. There's a couple crazy outbreaking opportunities, especially the uphill turn one, so we'll just have to wait and see.
It's going to be a fascinating week next week at Circuit of the Americas because IndyCar's there, and then Willow Springs Series and Willow Cup Series also at Circuit of the Americas. So first time we've done Cup there, that's going to be a lot of fun. But speaking of the Cup Series, they're at Rockingham Speedway this weekend. Of course, Wednesday night we got the Sprint Series from Rockingham, and then the signups for that COTA race in the Sprint Series, and then Saturday morning actually, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's a little bit of an odd start, trying not to compete with Josh with his series. It's going to be the Tier 400 in the Wawa Cup Series. Had a fascinating race last week at Phoenix, and in store for another good one there at the Rockingham Speedway. But looking forward to next week in the Haas IndyCar Series. Hopefully we'll have Micah in the booth for that one as well. And Chris Reynolds looking to go 3 in a row. Will he do it? And then number 75, we're just going to have to find out. Still early on in the season, but going to see how those points shake out after 3 races, and we'll see you guys next week from Circuit of the Americas. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Huge thanks to Mike and Nat for joining me here for the call of the Grand Prix of California. And like I said, we'll see you guys next week from Circuit of the Americas. Congratulations to Chris Reynolds once again, and I will see you guys later.